I write a Substack called Mother of a Dilemma for people who are on the fence about having kids. If you're interested, you can find it at the link in my bio. It's free and it comes out every Friday. Last week, I decided to respond to another Substack post from the Auntie Bulletin called The Number One Best Way to Decide If You Want to Have Kids. A friend sent it to me. It had been going around in circles and getting a little bit of traction. So I decided, as a coach who helps people with this problem, I should probably respond. First thing I'll say is the writer Lisa Sibbett did a really good job giving some really good practical advice and being quite honest that it's a little bit of a clickbait title in that there is no kind of one best way or only way or guarantee to answer this question. She has been through this experience herself and is very candid about her own personal experience, which is awesome. So my response is really just adding on to what she's saying. As a coach who works with people who are on the fence about having kids, I really share what's worked for my clients, what's worked for me, and just kind of my general suggestions of where to go with this. In Lisa's post, she really talks about spending a lot of time with families and really getting to know the deep ins and outs of what that routine and that life is like, both on vacation and those fun moments, and sometimes just the, standard routines like bath time and dinner time and things like that. The process that Lisa is describing is basically what I call prototyping. That's something I do with my clients. I got the idea from the book Designing Your Life, which is usually used for working on your career, but I think it works for any area of your life. The idea of prototyping is to find a way to test out different paths that you're interested in before you have to make the jump and be all in on it. So that could look like doing what Lisa's describing, where you're spending time with families. It could also, a different prototype could be getting a pet, having a dog. That's something my husband and I did. And for people who are worried about pregnancy and childbirth, prototyping could also look like building your hypothetical care team, talking to OBGYNs and doulas, and maybe looking into something like hypnobirthing. Just really collecting as much information as you can to see if this is something you might want to do or not. There's no failure or right or wrong answer when you're prototyping. It's just about collecting information and then seeing how you feel. Yes, the external information that you're collecting is helpful, but really what we want to know is how is it making you feel? Are you feeling more confident? Are you feeling relieved, at ease? Or are you feeling like this doesn't fit, this doesn't feel aligned, I'm feeling more concerned, more fearful? That's the kind of information that we want to get. And prototyping can be really helpful when you're trying to decide if you want to have kids, but it's not the right solution for every scenario. Sometimes maybe you're on the fence because you're worried about the political environment or the climate change, things like that. And in those scenarios, I don't think prototyping is the best path. I would use a different tool from my toolbox from that. Prototyping the child-free experience is also really difficult because a lot of it is trying to imagine how you will feel in 50 years. And I think that's a little bit challenging for this type of exercise. But I do think going through these prototypes can help you decide to be child-free. For example, for me, I did go through a couple of the examples I gave before and decided to remain child-free. So it's not always about doing these exercises to push yourself into having a child. I think it's also helpful to collect information in the other direction as well. So I share way more about this and so many other things in this Substack post. Again, it's in my bio at that link. Mother of a Dilemma is the name of my Substack. You can check out that post and read through to get a more thorough understanding of what I'm talking about. But check that out if that's something that's resonating with you.